me, eh? And you moan and groan and woe. Don't forget we told you so.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Make a wish, dear, and blow out the candles.
Here they go.
And hello, thank you for coming back, joining us here at the Video Game Replay. My name is Larry. Joining me is Aidan.
What up, guys? Dilf in the building. We got CJ top left today. What's up?
I'm here. I'm in the building. That's true.
Sorry, you folks on really got to check out the YouTube channel for that to understand what the hell just happened right there. We're going to talk about the Three Stooges for the NES. Oh, I wonder where that was going. Yeah, well, I get to be Larry, I guess, and you all can fight over Mo and Curly.
I'm gonna be Curly. Obviously.
Did you guys ever actually watch the old Three Stooges cartoons, or not
Absolutely.
cartoons, but TV shows?
The show, yeah. I had the really thin disc cases, if you know what I'm talking about, where they were like super fucking thin for no reason. Yeah, I had those though. Yeah,
I love Walmart deal, like $1 for like 4 hours worth of movies and shit.
Yeah, like that big is the case. Yeah, those. Had a couple of them.
You've never, so Aidan, you've never watched any Three Stooges at all?
Not at all.
Okay. That makes sense on some of the things we talked about pre-pod, but let's get into this. Let's talk about it, and we'll see where we end up. Three Stooges, originally released for the Amiga, which is a home gaming system, back in 1987. This game was ported to the NES in 1989. It's developed by Incredible Technologies, but the version we're playing was redeveloped by Beam Software and released by that evil company called Activision when they were still cool. Cinemaware, of course, for the Amiga. This is listed as an adventure game, and I'm going to fight that idea. I list it more as a board game / mini game kind of deal, almost like a Mario Party without the party.
Yeah. 100%.
But for folks who've never gotten into this, let's give you the beginning of how this starts, and this may go a long way. But you turn on your Nintendo. You get a screen that says it's licensed by Nintendo. It's a blue screen, licensed by Nintendo of America. It fades to black. And next thing you know, the Ghostbusters 2 symbol comes up. And the Three Stooges walk in. Curly states that the Stooges are in the wrong game. Larry looks at it and says, "This looks like a kid's game." And Mo calls both imbeciles and slaps them. Screen fades to black. A little film counter that counts down 3, 2, goes away. And it's the original Three Stooges theme songs. If you'd ever watched it, it would have felt very familiar. You know you've seen it somewhere at that point. The next screen goes up, and it's the evil banker, I Fleesome. He's standing in front of an orphanage. It's called Ma's Orphanage, and he's threatening to shut the orphanage down unless Ma can come up with the rent or the money to keep up with the orphanage, which happened to be about $5,000. And now you start to play through classic episodes of Three Stooges to earn money, answer trivias, even lose fingers in hopes to help save Ma, save the orphanage. Now, I'm trying to think of the word here. The gist of this game is a bunch of little mini games which are based off of episodes of the Three Stooges. We'll touch a couple of those as we go through. The premise of the whole game actually became a movie that they released in 2018. I had it written down somewhere and I didn't put it in my notes. But there was a movie that they redid with guys who were doing tribute to it, where they had to raise money to help save orphanages and all that. They ran into a bunch of nuns. It's an okay movie if you have any interest in the Three Stooges. But I will go ahead and start with CJ, since you have seen the Stooges. What's your first impression of this? What do you feel like when you've seen this?
I'm glad you brought up the intro screen. I thought it was funny. It's like, that's on par. You know what I mean? I'm sure Aidan, where you haven't seen it, but it's totally on par. Because pretty much three dudes just being dumb as hell. Like, I always think of the one clip where they all owed each other $20, and it was, "Here, Larry, here's my $20, and here, Aidan, here's my $20. All right, CJ, I owed you 20, and it's just all clean off one person. So it's just always something stupid. So that made me chuckle at first. I really did think I clicked the wrong game at first. I'm like, It's like, what the fuck? I like picked up my phone really quick and I look, I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like, I didn't know this was a thing. So I'm glad sometimes I watch a video before I didn't. I'm glad I didn't on this one because probably would have ruined it. But no, I thought the intro was really funny. Kind of was a little excited. Like I said, I haven't seen the Three Stooges in years. So I knew it probably wouldn't be the most serious best game ever, but I figured it'd be pretty stupid fun. And I think it got me ready to play it kind of thing. I thought the intro was pretty funny.
Okay.
Back me up,
And
Aidan, from a first timer.
Well, to say the least, this was the most confusing experience I've ever had playing an NES game. Loading up, seeing that, being like, "What the hell?" A little context: I have no clue. I couldn't tell you one of the Stooges' names. I didn't know they were orphans. I've only heard the name Three Stooges. It's not that I haven't watched it. I have no clue what they are or what. I honestly, when I first heard it when we were talking about games, I thought it was something to do with the Disney princess, but apparently that's a dwarf or something. There's like 7 dwarfs or something. I don't know. That's what I was thinking of when you first told me. So I have
Holy shit.
close to zero knowledge of the Three Stooges, as close as you
Zero.
can get. Pretty much zero.
Zero.
So I was a little confused. Looked up this game. It's an action game, and then we have that to start, and I was like, "What the hell am I doing?" I thought it was like I haven't pressed start yet on my controller. Like, is the start button not working? Am I starting the game? I was a little confused because and then I chose a mini game and I kind of got into it. But to say I was confused was an understatement. As someone with close to no knowledge about the Three Stooges.
I mean, at least it didn't totally throw you off, and that's the good part of it, I guess. I'm trying to think back. I remember playing this with a couple of my buddies back in the day, and I don't know, like it's the competition among friends. I think that kept it going at that point. But the older I got, it was just wanting to beat this, and I have beat this prior. I beat this week when we played it, and but it's a fun game, I think, and it's a little different, definitely a lot different. Like I said, I'd much rather call it a mini game / board game. And in short, to give you all some sort of idea on this, the Three Stooges are just 3 little characters sitting at the bottom of the screen, and you get 6 different tiles with a hand that will jump around to each different one. You have to hit the A button to select which particular mini game. Now you can run into a mini game where you throw pies, one where you're in a boxing match, rather you're running during a boxing match. Hospital one, which all 3 of these are actually episodes of Three Stooges. There's trivia, there's chance like Monopoly where you can get something good or something bad. You can get straight money, or you can get a mousetrap where it's straight clips on your fingers, and if you run out of fingers, game's over. And also you get the oyster catching one, which is really annoying, but again, it is a classic episode.
Yeah.
So a lot of different options, very good mini games. The whole object is to make money at each one of these video games. But let's talk about a couple other things before we get deeper into that. Aidan, did you have any thoughts on how it looked? Did it make you feel like you were playing something you could see?
It looked fine. It was not jumping out at me. I thought it looked good. It kind of it did remind me cartoon-esque, but sneeze interruption there. It did look
Bless you.
cartoon-esque. I was a little confused with the format because the hand first selected the boxing one while you're running through this obstacle course thing. So I was a little confused on that. I was like, am I controlling this boxer and I'm running, and also I thought I was like had to like multitask. I was so confused on what it was, and I said, and there's a stopwatch to the top right. So
Okay. Well, let me give you some insight to this against you never see the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
The short of it, they were trying to make money for something in the episode, and what they found out, Curly, the bald one, whatever, trying to think, what was it? Wasn't Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but some little song was playing. He would go into this mode where he just straight turned into an animal beast, and he would just destroy whoever he was fighting. So they entered him into a boxing match where if he could last 6 rounds with the champion, they would win X amount of money. Well, as they tried to do this, Larry, the curly hair guy, his violin breaks. So now he's running down a radio so he can go and get the radio and come back and play this song, which then would cause Curly to go into this beast mode and take out the champ. So this is your representation of that episode.
Run of the mill episode.
Yeah, I had no context of that, so I was just like, what the hell is going on here? I mean, it looked good. I could tell there was a boxing match. I was running through this hallway trying to get something. So I guess on how the game looks, that's not a point against it. That might just be a me problem. CJ, what did you think about how the game looked?
I didn't think it looked great, but I wasn't like disappointed. One thing I was happy about, especially for the age of the game, you could tell the Three Stooges apart. So I mean that's a plus for me. Aidan, you probably couldn't, but that's acceptable in this case. But you can tell them apart. You could tell what things were. I don't think mechanically it was great with some of the mini games. It kind of falls into the graphics, I guess. But overall, I mean, it looked fine. You could tell roughly enough what everything was. Like I said, characters were pretty clear. I even liked almost I know, like for example, on the oyster one, if you missed an oyster and got a cracker by itself or whatever, when you would it looked like you burnt yourself, but when he would scream, it looked cool. Like you could tell it was just a pixelated version. I liked it. So I mean, like I said, not great, but really nothing terrible by any means. I've seen worse. I've definitely seen worse. So
I think, like I say, it being an 87 game, being for the Amiga, which was a much less powerful device, the expectations should have been great. I don't think it looked any better on it. They didn't do any upscaling or anything. They just ported it over. So, but yeah, some of the full screen things where you could, get portraits of each of the Stooges, you could see that. You could tell what most things were. The only thing I think I remember ever having a hard time with, and to this day, in the one mode where you're running down the radio that Aidan we were talking about just a second ago, the boxing one, there's a gold thing laying down or something. I don't know if it's a dog, if it's a drunk, what the hell it is, but something that's laid there. You probably tripped over half a dozen times, and if you ever stop to look at it, it's like, what is that? I don't know. I don't think anybody ever knows. Nobody ever will know. But like I said, graphics weren't really the hard part, the high priority in this. I think fun and just getting some Stooge stuff going into it. Which leads me back into the idea of talking about some of the music and soundtrack. So, how did that go for you, C?
I'm gonna be honest, the soundtrack was not hitting home for me that great. The sounds themselves were fucking terrible to me. The volume of it, like the sound bites themselves, like for example, the one that pissed me off, I'm glad I had it through my speaker and not through my headset, was I did burn myself on the soup or whatever. And ow! And I'm like, gee, why? Like it's just ow! And I'm like, holy shit, like why did it just felt so unproportionately loud. It felt like it fucked my speaker up for a second. So like some of the actual sound like that kind of scared the shit out of me. It just felt unbalanced, unmixed, but nothing really stuck with me. It just kind of felt a little bit of the same over and over. But I mean, whatever, I guess. It's from the 80s. I'm not pissed about it, but at the same time, those loud ass sound bites have me fucking clenching and pissed. I'm being honest.
How about you, eh? What do you got?
I feel similarly. The sound effects weren't horrible. Like CJ said, there was definitely some sound effects that that jumped out of you, seemed like for no reason. The overall soundtrack for me, it wasn't super memorable. I could not. If you played it for me, I'd remember, but I couldn't. I can't really picture it in my head that well. But I mean, for the time and for what's expected, I don't think it was the worst ever, but it definitely was not. It was not no what's the Mega Man? What's those guys' name? The people that did Mega Man and
Yeah,
Capcom.
he's got
Yeah,
the name. Yeah,
I'll take Capcom. Capcom's
there's
definitely
yeah,
developer.
that works.
Yeah,
That works.
Capcom. It's not no Capcom soundtrack, but it's not the worst.
No, this is barely an LJN worthy soundtrack on its own. The only props I got is the audio, the curly audio and the oyster thing, fucking horrible. But like the spoken parts were actually clipped from
Mhm.
the actual movie shorts, whatever you want to call them. So that was impressive. The theme of the the actual Stooges theme at the beginning. You could tell what it was. It fit well.
Yeah.
And Pop Goes the Weasel actually was the song that made Curly go beast mode. It came to me as I was thinking about it,
Yeah. Okay.
which I don't recall it being in there, so that's why it doesn't resonate well. But
Yeah.
soundtrack wise, terrible. It really wasn't good. One motion I did forget to mention was the little slap boxing thing, where there's three of them. They're going back and forth. Did you guys get to play that part?
Yeah.
That actually slowed down the hand as it moved across the thing, and you get to do that. And those were good because that's very. If any kid remembers the Stooges, that's the part she remembers. Mo beating the shit out of both of them in a kind of sense. So I think Aidan, I think you would appreciate that. But either way, so what outside of confusion, what was your least favorite part of this game, Aidan?
I want to say mechanically, for me, it didn't feel that smooth. Like Larry said, it was not on the NES, so it was not. It was just ported from, what do you say it was? What was it called? Amiga. It was ported from the Amiga onto the emulator, so I can understand it not being that mechanically as good as a lot of the other NES games that we played. That probably has to be my least favorite part, other than the confusion, because I can't blame that on the game. I just don't have any context of the Three Stooges. I didn't grow up with it. I never watched it. Mechanically for me, it didn't feel that smooth. There was a lot of things where, like, there's only limited buttons on this controller. Like, what am I not hitting to do something? Like, I remember when I was first started the pie mini game where you throw the pies.
Yes, bro.
I didn't know how to throw the pies. I was like, how do I throw these pies?
No.
I just kept ducking. I was like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know how to throw the pies.
That took a second to get used to again. I forgot about you have to like hold one and then hit the up and down or something like that.
Yeah.
It was. I did not like it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely mechanically was my least favorite part.
Okay. Fair enough.
You can blame confusion on the game though. I do it all the time. I blame hard games on. I blame like mediocrely hard games on the game. I'm like, dude, that fucking ABC game, dude. I mean, it's just too hard. I don't understand how I'm supposed to remember all these letters in order. It's just terribly difficult. So you can totally blame confusion on it.
Maybe there was, but for people that for a standalone game, I guess they could have been a little more clear. Like, I'm not saying do like a full like Ninja Gaiden cutscene to explain what's going on, but like even like a cutout audio, you get the voice actors from the game to do like a quick little thing, like I don't know, or like even text at the bottom of the screen, like saying what to do, like we're collecting money, we're doing different board games, something like that. You can blame a little bit on the game, but I can't fully blame that on the game.
I still want to say that I think that the manual has its place in this because it did give you a fairly decent breakdown of what each game was, what at least the intentions were. I don't think it gave you any reference towards how to play it, but at least what the object of what you were playing was. But
which is it's understandable. Because back in the day, manuals were a lot bigger. If you had, as a standalone game, if you needed to read the manual for modern games to figure out what was going on, it definitely would not be received well. But I can see back in the day, manuals were a bigger part of the game than they are today.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do you dislike?
Man, the sound bites, the loud ones definitely was got to be number one. Just the volume. I specifically wrote it down as control suck ass. I forgot the S, but the controls were not fun for me. Control suck ass. It just, I think I kind of get, Aidan put it well. It was also a little confusing, but yeah, had I read the manual like before, it probably would have been a little better. But overall, not like a shit ton to hate about it. The controls are probably the worst part for me. You did mention the pie game was probably my least favorite. Honestly, the concept was not that bad either, but asking me to do that is terribly difficult. Just the different directions per person. I think it also didn't help. I couldn't exactly tell which person the pie was going to until a little too late. So here it is. It's about to hit Larry, and I'm like, yeah, curly duck. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I just got pied again. So it was a short-lived game for me. I'll tell you that. It was pretty short-lived. I think I only threw one pie. So could have went a little smoother, but maybe a skill issue, but like I said, I'll blame the game.
Yeah, CJ's getting pied. Larry, what did you experience? What did you experience negatively in the game?
No, I can't say I was getting pied. I did pretty well about dodging all those. Um, definitely the sound just really kind of cut through you on a lot of this. I think that's one of the harder things, especially the curlies, just because it's so abrupt that it just that's all it was. I think really just it jumps out at you. Um, a lot of these games, like I say, to me for the time, I think they're okay. I mean, like I said, a little bit of confusion. I get that too, not having any experience with it. Again, I know I'm ahead of you guys about 30 years on where it's at with this, but the worst of it is just I think even more so the very basic idea of you have to raise money to save this place should have been better well expressed. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, even in our favoriteest game ever, Wall Street Kid, you had the idea that you have 30 days to
Yeah, exactly.
raise X amount of cash.
Like that's what I was saying about the context. Like they just, I mean, there wasn't no elaborate cutscenes. They literally just put it in text on the bottom of the screen, and it gave more context, which I feel like a lot of games could do this of this era.
Well, and it just shows itself. Like I say, it relied too much on the manual that even back in the day you didn't have. Because like I say, if you didn't own it, you sure as hell weren't getting it from the place you were renting it from. So
Yeah. That's fair.
but I guess if anything, did you guys find anything that you did like? See, did you have anything that was your favorite part of this game ever?
Yeah, actually, I thought it was pretty funny, lighthearted. Like it was a stupid fun game, which to me is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I know, don't get me wrong, it's no Skate 3, but I know at one point the physics on Skate 3 made that game kind of even more fun. So it's like it's one of those things where it has some stupid aspects that make it fun. Um, the I mean, the random like I quest like objectives. I kind of like the idea of it. I just let it full out random it. I didn't select it all. When the hand was moving, I just let it fall where it fell. To me, that kind of added a little oomph to it as well because it just felt like. I mean, either way, like all of you guys didn't start on the same game as me, kind of thing. Like we could play the games in any order, kind of thing. So to me, that's kind of cool. Kind of early for its time, probably 87. So I mean, probably a little early on that. So I mean, that's kind of cool. But like I said, overall, just the stupid lightheartedness of it, and enough of the soundbite might have pissed me off, but at the same time, it's kind of funny. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like the bad parts are almost funny enough to where it's kind of that was funny. It's not that really that bad. So kind of like I definitely chuckled after I burnt my mouth eating soup. So like what it did bad wasn't necessarily more bad than funny. So overall, I think just that it was kind of just goofy. It was the Three Stooges. I guess I had better expectations than Aidan did, but yeah, I mean, it's just goofy ass Three Stooges behavior. So lighthearted enough, fun enough, dumb enough that gets at least a couple thumbs up and likes from CJ. So
Did you find any fun in this?
Well, I had a hard time finding fun in it, to be honest, just because I like the concept. I do like the concept of selecting different kind of board style type of games, like a Mario Party without the party, like Larry said, which I feel like was an apt description. They could have done better contextualizing what you were doing. Again, with no context of the Three Stooges, it was a little tough for me to kind of figure out what was going on. Along with the bad audio, the graphics were okay. I didn't love the controls. Uh, Overall, not my most favorite game. I think the concept was good. It's definitely a unique concept for a lot of the games that we've played. But I'm having a hard
at
time
least you
picking
got
out
the
something.
concept as a plus.
Yeah, the concept was there. The execution was not, in my opinion. Sorry, Larry, to shit on your
Fair enough.
game, but I did not find that much enjoyment in it. If I'm being honest,
Hey, it's better than Google
with
fucking 13.
with
Tell
the
you that.
context, yeah, that's a low blow. But
That
also
was low. I picked that one too, asshole.
yeah, yeah, but also
Take
with
everybody out.
it's kind of tough for me as well. It's probably better for you guys that you actually know what the Three Stooges are. I mean, this is coming from a
Absolutely.
guy that thought the Three Stooges were the dwarfs from Snow White or
Snow White.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, having context of knowing what the Three Stooges are probably definitely helped the game experience, which I assume most people buying the game back in the day had that knowledge.
Yeah, but it probably led you very highly to buying that more than the idea of this looks interesting.
Yeah.
I myself, like I say, I definitely love the I don't want to say freshness, but just the multiple different types of games. That's something that I don't think there's a lot of in any NES game. I know we appreciated it in Blaster Master, a couple other ones, just different game modes and all that. And this was full of different games and all that. So that part I think I really appreciate. I think back talking to you guys on, I say, CJ, you have a little bit of remembrance of it. Aidan, you have none. So I guess it does give me a little bit of nostalgia high on it. So, can't get wrong with that idea. I know that's something that sells it, but I like I said, I'm trying to think of what I really liked about this, and just outside of the variety, it's kind of hard really to nail anything down.
The Ghostbusters scene.
The opening was good. You
I was
can't
saying,
get
the
wrong with
opening's-
that. The opening is definitely good. There's enough I definitely had to make sure I talked about that. Now I'll ask, and I probably already got my answer, but we're gonna put it out here for the world. Did you beat the game this week?
Nah, I felt like I got enough of the
You-
gist and fuck that orphanage, So
Fuck them kids, man. Fuck them kids.
yeah, fuck them kids.
Okay, well, I am the overachiever who had done this before, and like I say, with the particular device I was using to play this, there's a rewind feature, so I definitely was able to beat it with one finger left. I at least kept the one finger, the one coming at you. But I did beat this game. I think I ended up getting the second or third best kind of ending, which there was 4 different endings for this game, which I thought was impressive. I forgot all about that until I read it, and I realized, like I say, basically you get less than $5,000, you don't win. $5,000 to $10,000, Moggy gets to keep the orphanage. 10 to 20, she keeps the orphanages and manages to do some repairs, which she mentions in the end. And then the ultimate ending is the $20,000 or more, where you save the orphanage, you make repairs, and somehow you paid a dowry to buy 3 women for the Stooges. So good luck
Yes.
to you guys on that.
Yes.
I did not win 3 women this week, so I think I did get about 12,000. I think is where I ended up on my game. So, but either way, it's a different kind of game, and like I said, I'll go with starting into final thoughts. It was something different. It definitely leads for someone who I think has some love and desire for the Three Stooges. And like I said, I knew this is something that you wouldn't see anywhere else on the NES. That's why I brought this to the front this week. I didn't expect it to get high regards, but I hope that somewhere you guys would have had some fun in it. And that's really what I brought to the table this week in hopes of it. So, how about you, A? You got any final thoughts you want to share with this?
Final thoughts. Try not to touch on a whole lot of stuff that I haven't already said. It's kind of tough. Wasn't the most enjoyment that I've had on a game. I can definitely see the appeal. Don't get me wrong, especially if you have that nostalgia-driven factor of you grew up watching this Three Stooges, or even have the context of knowing what the Three Stooges are. It can definitely see like, oh, the box. Oh, I remember this episode. It's cool. Okay, I know the objective instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see the appeal for that. For me, it just wasn't there, unfortunately. But final thoughts. I can see the appeal. The concept was good. The execution, personally, for me, was not there. See, do you share similar feelings, or are you gonna get a bridge off here?
This is the best game of all. No, I mean it was cool. I definitely do agree with both of you that the Stooge concept of at least knowing that they're not dwarves and that there's 3 of them and not 7, it definitely helps the game. Um, it was cool. I think you guys really hit it home with the Mario Party like esque to it. I guess. I mean that it did feel a little more random. It didn't feel so intense. I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I like this is so difficult. Like it just kind of felt like a nice little break, a little fun. Like wasn't terrible, wasn't the best. It was just I had a good time. Like it was all right. I'm into mini games, so it's kind of what it felt like. It was all right. At least it was enjoyable. Is kind of how I feel. It was no Google 13, so.
Damn.
Shots,
Okay,
shots.
motherfucker. Yeah, you fire all them shots. We'll see how this shit goes after we start talking about Felix the Cat again. Quick
Cut
shot
out.
at it, I guess. CJ, Recommend, play again.
I don't think you need to play this game. If you really like the Stooges, or if you're looking for a classic game and you remember the Stooges, I think it's worth a shot. It's pretty easily accessible now in the big 2.5, so sure, but I'm not personally running to tell my friends about it. I'm probably not going to come back to it. I think there's better minigame games that I like. Even shit, I'll get back and play Sonic Mario Olympics. You know, that was a good minigame game. So I'll go play stuff like that before I come back to this probably, but I don't hate it by any means. I don't want to give the impression it sucked, but it's just out of the options of games, it might have laid the groundwork, but you know, the people that build parts of the wings on planes, you know, they don't always need to fly, so they just do it so people can go and do better things. That's so bad. That's
Spread
so
that
bad.
metaphor with the force, buddy. Spread that metaphor with the force. All right. How about you, A? Recommendations, play again, any of that in there?
If you are a big fan of old cartoons, you like the Three Stooges, like CJ said, it's easily accessible. Download an emulator, try it out. You like the Three Stooges, you remember some of the episodes, you have that context, you're gonna have a good time. Me personally, it wasn't there. I probably wouldn't play that again. I'm realizing we kind of are the Three Stooges talking about it right now, so us hating on
Yeah.
it, we're hating on our own game, the Three Stooges here talking about it. But for me,
You imbecile.
probably not coming back to it.
You knuckleheads, I tell you what. I guess, you know, truthfully, yeah, it's we're at a platform where we want to try different games, see different things, and that was part of what my experiment was this week, was to show you guys something different that you hadn't tried, see maybe if there's something you got into. I never did take any chance to see if Aidan or CJ actually had any reference to it, because I know I did, but I also realized, shit, I was having kids by the time you guys were being born, so I'd already seen plenty of this shit.
Fair
Um,
enough.
if you want to try something different, something new, I will recommend this. I agree with CJ on the idea that no, you don't have to ever play this. You're not gonna die not knowing what playing the Three Stooges for the NES was, and feel like that was going to, you know, change your life. Well, I play it again, it'll be one of those, I'm dead bored and I just want to try something. Maybe I want to win myself a woman, because that's something you did back in the day, was win yourself a wife for helping out some lady save her orphanage. So
Fair.
I will step here and take this point though. Got some time on your hands, got nothing better to do, go to the tubes of you, look for the Three Stooges, watch it and laugh. I think I can't say that any of it's not, quote unquote, not aged well. I think it's still funny. It's classic slapstick humor, and there's actually a great lore to these guys. So take some time, get to know the Three Stooges, if nothing else. Play their game. Nah, you don't need to do that.
Valid enough.
So at this point, we are hitting our second favorite time of the week. It's time to put some numbers to paper. So we're going to go through this and we're going to attempt to give this a rating. And I'm going to assume some things, but now we're going to ask questions. Yes. Aidan, got a number for us? Got an idea of how you feel about this game? Let's know.
I'm trying not to be too offensive to all the Stooges fans out there.
I'm sure there's 10 of us left. We're not that worried about it.
Yeah, as the 7 Three Stooges fans out there left, I'm trying not to offend them. But speaking of sevens, no, I'm gonna give it a 3.7. Sorry to try to blue ball you on the speaking of sevens there. It is not a 7. I'm giving it 3.7. So that's my official VGR rating. The DILF rating.
You said that 7. I had half a chub for a second. I was almost ready to go. How about you, CJ? What kind of number you got for this?
Since I knew the Stooges, I'm in the same ballpark though. I'm gonna give it a 4. I think it's not terrible. It's definitely not great. It's playable, and sometimes that's all you need for the era. But it's cool. It's whatever. It's a 4 for me.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's rough.
Well,
So
we
at this
offended
point,
1/7 of the population. Fuck.
1/7, probably like 1/1,000,000th of the population who still
Yeah.
remembers what the hell the Stooges
Yeah,
are.
no, you're absolutely correct.
I'm doing the quick math here as I'm stalling, and basically what I'm trying to do is make sure I stay above Felix the cat. So I'm gonna have to give this like
Wow.
12 or something. Um, I'm still gonna go higher than you guys, and I'm gonna go about 5-5. And that's mostly because I think it is playable. Context probably helps it make more sense, but on the same token, read the damn manual. It goes a long way. And the other half a point is simply because my nostalgia love for the Stooges. If it's out there, that's the half points for them. But it's a playable game. It's all right. Nothing to write home about. Nothing to write home mom about or anything like that. But it's a game, and I think, like I say, in some degree, I personally, and I'm not bullshitting, not pulling any of this. I find more entertainment in this than I did fucking Felix the Cat. So that's how I feel about that.
Boo. And the score does reflect it. We did average out to 4.4. That is technically better than Felix was. This is an average game.
Fuck yeah.
So
Fuck yeah. Fuck you. Fuck Felix the Cat.
but both of which are higher than Google 13. But yeah, no, this is a 4.4. Both average games. It's an average game. It was an all right time. I mean, what would Kanye say about this? You probably wonder. And in reference to this game, he probably would say, la, wait till I get my money right. Probably he'd say, but it's just a guess.
Didn't talk to him this week about it, huh? We couldn't get him to play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
he
he was unavailable.
He was doing a different episode.
Yeah, he was doing the one for the Amiga. I know. Well, I think that's pretty much about it. Either of you guys want to volunteer and do the out, or
I can out it up.
Okay. Yeah,
Or-
out is
I don't-
out.
brother.
I'll out us out. I'm pretty much just spreading the gospel, telling the people, like, share, and follow. Got any questions? Message us at VGR@gmail or VGRpod@gmail.com. You're gonna want to leave a comment, I promise, because we're gonna respond to it and have a great time. You can shit on us, give us your opinions. Check us out on all platforms. You want to listen to a video? Check us out on Spotify, streaming platforms. If you're listening on Spotify, check us out on the tube. See our pretty faces. See the Three Stooges in action.
Yes.
Yes.
It is
And
that
tell us
time.
who too. We got to know what
Yeah.
Stooge is which.
Tell us
Please
what
comment.
Stooge is
Who's
which. I
what
don't know.
Stooge?
I'm sleepy. CJ's grumpy. Just start talking about the dwarfs. Start talking about the dwarfs. Well,
Perfect.
Fair enough.
it's that time. We're gonna sign out. Like, follow, do whatever you want. All right.
Make it happen. Make
We'll
it
see
happen.
you guys later.
Later,
Peace.
peace.